So I need to stimulate a response.
I think it's gonna work.
And everybody's always wants to point the finger everywhere else, but it normally starts with you.
Here we go. This is a pretty special place to me. Hey, Dan Luepkes here. I guess for some reason I'm going to be on Podfathers this year. I haven't really figured that one out yet because I really doubt if I could compete with these other boys. I'm so far north, but we are going to use some of their ideas and see this far north what we can do. You know, it's actually, there's an awful lot of beans grown in northern Illinois and Iowa and all these places that are farther north than these southern guys. So I'm going to be using some of their strategies, and I might even teach them a few of mine if they're lucky. So we're going to try this Podfathers things out. Fully expect to come in last, and I'll be okay with that. So we're going to give it a shot. But today we're making up our starter mix. We're going to try to plant some of it today. It's real iffy though. It's plenty wet yet this morning, but we're going to see how the day goes. But anyway, we got some of Concept Ag's Sweet Success, which is their blend of sugars and their recommendations on sugars. So that's what we're going to dump in this contest load. I'm putting in like a pint to the acre of that, and we're going to see how that does. Now, the importance of sugars in furrow for us is to get that soil biology ramped up. You know, give them a little food, right? You know. When you get up in the morning, what do you want? You want a little breakfast. Well, it's that time of year, all these bugs are getting going and soil biology is getting going. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give them a little breakfast with their other nutrients that we're getting. We are using a full starter blend on our beans. Now, I'm not the biggest believer in starter on beans, but this year it's cold. It's a little damp, but it's been really cold. So the times I believe starter will pay is when you can get the beans out of the ground faster and get them growing faster. There's not enough nutrients in there to make a big difference as far as their vegetative growth spurt, but there is enough to help them get going and some micros they need to get out of the ground fast. And the faster you can get them out of the ground, get them growing. What our goal is to get them flowering by summer solstice or June 21st. If you get them flowering by then, you're ahead of the game, and then you're going to you have the possibility of some really good beans. So if you can give them a good start and get them growing, it will translate into yield. So that's our objective this year, and that's what we're going to do. So we've got a new product, and it's from Cory Atley, Advanced Yield. It's this Silica 10. I have used silica products before. They're temperamental. We've used them in some foliar things. I've usually had to use them by themselves, generally, and even then they're temperamental. Even with my water, I was getting things gummed up on the sprayer using it by itself. So silicas are tricky. So we're going to do a jar test of my starter mix with this product. It's called Silica 10. I mean, the label says it can be mixed with a lot of different things. So I did my math basically. I'm going to get 2 quarts of my mix out of here. And actually it's only about 0.6 of an ounce of this, but I'm going to put in probably like an ounce or 2 ounces to double it to see, to make sure we're safe. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to get a little bit of this, or 2 quarts is what I want. This 2 quarts has 318-18 in it. It's got potassium acetate, it's got calcium, has some copper, my own kind of zinc that we made up with PGR mixed in with it, several other things. So there's a lot in here already. Now I put a gallon or a little more than a gallon per acre of water with this, because when you're putting that many things together, lots of times a little water is the best friend you can have. So that's what I would suggest a lot of times. And we're also putting a humic in here. There's a 12% humic, a pretty high rate of it in here. I really like the humics. So that's what we got there. Now I got to get me just a little bit of this, of the silica. Put my dollar store girl glasses on, because I like to be stylish like that. Yeah. So that's 4, 3. That is 2 ounces. So that's a good double, or actually it's triple rate of what I'm actually going to run. But when you're jar testing, that's kind of a good idea. And I'll pour it in slow to see what we got going on. You know, we'll probably put in our rate first and then add some more.
We want the bottom canopy to be healthy with a good fungicide. We use Revitec on it. It's really going to help that bean finish off strong.
But on our farm, we got to average a 6 bushel better with the Revitec fungicide than any other fungicide.
Probably absent of disease just because we've got the Revitec out here, but just mainly for the plant health.
The one thing that is a must, that's this product right here. Reducing stress adds bushels. I'm very fortunate that I've been working with Concept Agritech now for 4 years. We have 12 Concept Agritech plots out right now. We feel like we're picking up some pretty good bushels.
Oh, here's one of their flagship products here. This is their Cowboy product. It's their calcium boron premix. They do have a great line of products here. Man, this is like drinking water. I think every crop needs a gallon or 2 of it. It's just, it does that much for you.
Good? All right. Today is April 25th, 2022. We just got our first field of beans planted. We're getting ready to get on the second one. It's pretty chilly out here today. Luckily the sun's out right now to warm it up. We've been fighting a lot of cold temperatures planting beans, but it's finally dry enough and we're gonna go. We're waiting on the corn, but it's time to get started on beans, so let's roll. Our number one goal is to always break our own personal records, own farm records. Wherever that shakes us out in the competition, so be it. Can I improve on what I did the year before? Really excited for a couple fields this year. It's a 5-year process to really change the soil. This will be year number 6 for it, the first year in beans. And we just got soil sampling back, and very pleased and excited for much nutrients that we have available in the soil and ready to rock and roll with it. You know, it's where we had the crosshatch beans last year and over in that area, so I think it'd be fun to see what we're able to do with it. We do already have that ground planted. No special tricks. You know, it'll be treated just like every other acre, but I think we'll be able to run pretty high with it. But it's up to the good Lord and Mother Nature to treat us right. All right, we're getting ready to change fields here. Just finished up another field here planting. We got some Masgrows in the ground here, some 4.3s. We've had pretty good luck with them. This year we've actually planted 3 different types. So we got Extend Flex, we got the Enlist beans, and we got non-GMOs. So we have a little bit of all 3 going this year. Hopefully our sprayers don't kill any. But we're trying all 3 different platforms to see, you know, trying to get a lot of the naysaying out of this. So some people say, you know, you can't raise yield with a certain type of soybean. So we're going to put that theory to the test this year. But conditions were good. It's dry, but it's cold. It's very cold outside. It's only 40 degrees. In the mornings, we've actually had to stop to let the frost burn off before we can plant. Frost turns into dew, sticking to the gauge wheels, and then we can start rolling. So that's just one of those things where, you know, normally by the end of April, it's warm enough, but this year it's not, and we got to take advantage of dry weather, so it's not ideal, but hopefully the beans can can make it up through. One thing that's really given us a good shot with it is what we're putting within an In-furrow mix here. We're using the Capri Umbella, Capri Exalt, and then NewTek SIF from Terramax. We've seen great results with those three mix. You know, and the one thing that we really like about the NewTek SIF, you know, is that one, it's really easy to mix, and two, the use rate is easy. Now, I'm a big believer in the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. All right, because I'm stupid. So when we're doing that, at 12.8 ounce use rate, you know, if you got 100 acres, you're gonna need 10 gallons. I like that. I can keep up with that math. So we're good there. You know, and another good thing is we're always running short on product. Normally, when we start talking different inoculants within the marketplace, you have about 30 days to use them. So once they hit air, you're definitely on the clock. I can order more than what I need to finish up from Terramax because their product actually has a 2-year shelf life. So that is a huge bonus when I'm trying to, you know, we're thinking about products to order as soon as we're out of the combine. So to know how much I truly need, if we're going to have a mess up somewhere along the line, I don't know. But now I've got the comfort in mind knowing that I can go ahead and order more. If I use it, great. If not, it can wait until next year. So those are the three products that's going in with the beans. We've had great returns from it and pretty darn good yields with it. We just need a little bit better this year because Temple's going down. That's kind of our secret sauce, the Atley secretion of In-furrow, and we just run water. Like I said, we don't want to use fertilizer. I don't want any salts on this fruit. We're using water as a carrier, and we're making our own fertilizer blend in the soil with the biologicals, the fulvic acids, the sugars. We're going to make our soil do our work for us. So instead of adding 5 to 10 gallons of a 1034-0 or 624-6, yeah, that helps in colder soils, but if we can be patient, wait for warmer weather, warmer soil temperatures, like what we should be in, then we're fine. We're going to make our own blend for that crop that's not just going to get it up out of the ground. So a lot of people talk about, yeah, I have pop-up. I don't want pop-up. I'm going to spend all this money just for 2 weeks worth of work. I want products in there that's going to work when I'm not working. So our goal is, with that mix, I know I have products in there that's going to be lasting. So these are just different things that we're already lining up now at planning to be able to feed this crop all the way throughout the entire season. We want the bottom canopy to be healthy with a good fungicide. We use Revitec on it. It's really going to help that bean finish off strong.
But on our farm, we got to average a 6 bushel better with the Revitec fungicide than any other fungicide.
Probably absent of disease just because we've got the Revitec out here, but just mainly for the plant health.
The one thing that is a must, that's this product right here. Reducing stress adds bushels.
Copperhead concaves, to me, are the only way to go. This is a real return on our investment. When we went to these, we took an automatic increase all the way to 5,300 bushels an hour, which is incredible. Sometimes we don't have enough truck to keep up with what this combine can harvest. Use less horsepower, less fuel, and did a better job cleaning. It's second to none.
So the thing I look for initially, if things are not going to work together, you will see a reaction right on top. And I've never done this with this product, so this is new here. I would say I didn't really have a reaction, so that's a good sign. Normally if there's a reaction, it coagulates right on top of the surface. You know, it looks fine. I'm actually real confident of this already. But then if you start pouring it back and forth, you can see if anything is separating on the bottom. Yeah, so I believe that mix is going to be fine. We're going to be putting this in. Now I actually am going to save this for when I'm going in the planter because I want to do some check strips with it. If I put it in this whole load, it's got the whole load. And a lot of these new products, you know, you can use them. And if you do it on the whole field and you didn't leave yourself a check strip, you can go, well, I don't know, you know. Well, we don't want to not know. We want to know if it works or not, because this stuff all does cost money. So that's what we're going to wait to do. We'll dump it in on the planter later. I do have 2 separate tanks on there, so we can have a product with and product without. That's our mix. I just gave away the secret to 180 bushel beans on 2 acres. Thank you. All right, I want to talk about a couple other products. We just were talking about our starter mix for our contest bean thing that we're going to be involved with Podfathers this year. So there's one stable on all of our bean ground, and actually we use it on a lot of the corn ground. It's a different product, but it is by Terramax. So the Terramax Liquid IF is basically an inoculant. We've had really good luck with nodulation using this product. Our beans actually on these particular beans also got inoculated with Terramax's bean inoculate right on the seed as a seed treatment. Now we're doubling that with this Terramax Liquid IF. Had real good luck with that. We definitely see increased nodulation. Really happy with the nodulation. So this is a product that always goes in the tank. I do wait to dump this in, because it's a biological, until I'm going into the planter. For me, I just think that's a better idea than having the bugs down in the fertilizer, whether it's a safe fertilizer or not, and ours is. I just prefer to dump it in while it's going in the planter. So Terramax Liquid IF, In-furrow, In-furrow. That's a staple for us. Highly recommend that product. Now we're trying something else. Now this is a recommendation actually from our fellow Podfather, Temple Roads, but it's a Cory Atley product. So Cory got with Temple last year. They used this product. They actually used it foliarly. They had good success with it. Temple's winning beans had this on it. He had very good success with it with corn also, but they did it foliarly. So it's supposed to be kind of a stress mitigator. So we're going to put some of it in furrow, because we've been dry. Our forecast is for fairly dry and for a dry summer. So we're putting a little of it in furrow, and we will use some foliarly also later. So that's another new one to us. But if Temple gave me, it just works, you know. And if you want to trust someone, you can trust his word. So we're going to try it. So those 2 products are new, or this product is new. This is a stable, and we're going to dump both these in at the planter instead of putting it in the whole mix right here. So we try new things every year. We kind of sort through them. Some of them we believe just don't work, and some of them we think do, but how you gonna know unless you test? So we'll have some strip trials out, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
With the soybeans with Terramax, we brought it out, and instantly, man, I just couldn't believe the nodulation we had so early. Look at that. That root, look how much nodulation is already on there. And you have these little peanuts all the way down here, that deep in the soil, around the roots here. That's a very good start. If you haven't heard of them, you better get to know them, because their products are here to play.
I'm very fortunate that I've been working with Concept Agritech now for 4 years. We have 12 Concept Agritech plots out right now. We feel like we're picking up some pretty good bushels.
Oh, here's one of their flagship products here. This is their Cowboy product. It's their calcium boron premix. They do have a great line of products here. Man, this is like drinking water. I think every crop needs a gallon or 2 of it. It's just, it does that much for you.
We want the bottom canopy to be healthy with a good fungicide. We use Revitec on it. It's really going to help that bean finish off strong.
But on our farm, we got to average a 6 bushel better with the Revitec fungicide than any other fungicide.
Probably absent of disease, just because we've got the Revitec out here, but just mainly for the plant health.
The one thing that is a must, that's this product right here. Reducing stress adds bushels.
Something else that we added to the arsenal this year was a Great Plains Turbo Max. Really loved the job that it did. Did a great job. Actually, so much we just called and got a deal made. We got a brand new 40-foot Terramax coming from Great Plains. Hopefully that'll be here by this fall. Probably people at home watching that have bigger gardens in this area. It's just from the waterway separating it. So we put all in these grass waterways here to help with erosion. They deem this spot good enough to farm, so we're farming it. That way when somebody asks, how many acres do you farm, we can tell them all of them. Nothing major. Junior's been going just through some wear and tear breakdown parts. So hopefully you guys just didn't jinx me there. But we've been able to roll pretty smooth so far. Let's see, there you go. Now we get to the old finger the hole trick. I'll be right back. See if that worked. And row number 2 is not getting any seed. Sometimes the seed just gets stuck up. It's just hot and humid. Just needed some persuasion, hopefully. Straight to the jinx. So many cameras around, I don't even know where cameras are. I don't know where it's safe to pee anymore, huh? The forecast holds true here. It's supposed to warm up. They're calling for some chances of rain. We got plenty of moisture within the ground already. That's not the problem. Just don't like being cold and wet. So hopefully it warms up here like the forecast says, and we should be done here with beans in the next couple days. I think we're only about 3 to 4 days away from being done. So I got to get back at it, guys. Appreciate you coming out, and I'll catch you next time. We want the bottom canopy to be healthy with a good fungicide. We use Revitec on it. It's really going to help that bean finish off strong.
But on our farm, we got to average a 6 bushel better with the Revitec fungicide than any other fungicide.
Probably absent of disease just because we've got the Revitec out here, but just mainly for the plant health.
The one thing that is a must, that's this product right here. Reducing stress adds bushels.